a 2nd and 15 following that sack. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. But
319.
Here's Rodgers. Shreds the tackle. Buying time to his left. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Hey, where are you going? Little 58 to on. 319.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like...
And this is caught. And that one results in 35 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So 3 plays already, first and goal.
319.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Rodgers with a keeper, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Rodgers with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
Now this time, Rodgers will throw. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
It's interesting noticing that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. On second down, here's Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First down Raiders, the former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And complete, right side to Cook. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the play.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation. Let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Pass incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Carr will try it again on second down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And it's caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Running right through it. And now running right through it. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Again, it's Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here we go on 4th down with Rodgers. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out right at the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Green 18. Jumbo. Jumbo. Green 18.
On 1st down, Rodgers lets it fly deep for Cobb. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Right. Get down, get down.
From midfield, here's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver and you're want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down.
Back now at Lambeau. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Blue 58!
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Rodgers, flushed out right, and he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now Carr. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it's 3rd and 4.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete.
Yeah, and this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Fielded about a yard deep.
Well, conventional football, football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Rodgers throwing here. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they...
Green 18.
Now Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Raiders have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll run to Marshawn Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Clay Matthews in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He's back to throw. It's caught. Left side, Brandon LaFell. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Now Carr, gotta have this one. And that is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Packers are going to win this football game. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that...
Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And the Packers pick it up. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. And that trip to the end zone, I think that's the dagger.